Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Friday, February 6, 2026, Trading Trends with me, John Salama, CMT, or CM Tizzle. Let's get right into it. There's some strong rebound going on here. You got some 3 Sigma moves happening in small caps and the mid caps. Let's get right into it. And we're going to, of course, zoom out and take a look at really what this whole week was about. Deleveraging, firms going down, yada, yada. Let's take a look. Right now for today, mid and small caps and Japan is where the party is. There's a lot of things going up after being oversold in many areas. If you have a ticker or something, put it in there. There's lots of things that are moving as the rotation continues to happen. Mid caps, small caps, and Japan, I'm enjoying the Japan gains. It's unbelievable. All up 3%, and volatility as measured through VXX down 6%. So that is puking. And you saw what happened with Amazon. Massive spend from a lot of these companies. And then you see Micron, or sometimes Micron. Broadcom was a big beneficiary. So it's been very bifurcated within tech, the winners and losers. New all-time highs. Take a look at this. There's absolutely things to buy that are up and to the right. Never been higher, truly. Energy, staples. I'm enjoying staples. I'm in that. I'm also in XLE and energy. RSP, the average stock. That's the individual weighting, equal weight, S&P 500. Never been higher today. SCHD, I'm in that and enjoying that. That is a dividend portfolio. It's been absolutely skyrocketing this week. It looks like a buy and hold for all year for you, div lovers. XLI industrials, the Dow through the ETF, DIA, as the Dow's at basically just on the door of 50,000. EWJ all-time highs, and the banks through KBWB, not specifically XLF or the KBE, specifically this weighting of the KBWE, which has Euro banks as well, I believe, all-time highs. So a lot of stuff to buy. Don't give into the whole tech, specifically software, was getting creamed this week. What are we supposed to buy? Gold, silver, got on all-time highs. I believe they will continue to do so. When you zoom out of the week, and again, we'll go through every important chart. I'm going to do my moves right after this through the turtles. I'm probably, full disclosure, going to take half of Japan off the table. It's been a beautiful, amazing trade. I'm going to stop skinning that. I'll probably close half the Ethereum short. We'll take a look at Ethereum, and it's been still amazingly profitable. And then I'm going to get in and buy soybeans as that has triggered. So I love that diversifier. Truly nerding out here. I am so excited to buy soybeans. You have no idea, truly. Very excited to add that. It moves totally differently correlated from obviously Ethereum and Chinese tech and dividend stocks that I have on. So I love adding a trend like that. It gets me, as you can tell, very excited. When you look back this whole week, it really was about the losses in Ethereum, Nat Gas, and Bitcoin. I basically averaged them out there to about 20% losses. They actually range from 16 to 24% losses. It moves like heck. So we'll get into it and we'll see the numbers live. I believe last I checked, it was Nat Gas right in the middle, down 20, Bitcoin down 16, and Ethereum down about 24% on the week. Those were the big moves. All right, so let us get into the dashboard panel here. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. This is supposed to be the last I checked, including in terms of Nat Gas, the last frigid weekend here for this weekend. So how Nat Gas and whatnot trade going forward. All right, real fast. Let's get into the dashboard panel. S&P almost up 2% here. We are 1% and change away from new all-time highs. So how's that? We talked about, I'll just get to it in the next chart. Q's up 2%, Amazon down 5%, but that is well off the mat. That used to be a lot uglier. They're spending, I think, a quarter or a fifth of $1 trillion on different AI advancements this year. So they're pretty serious. As many from Meta said similar. As I think as did Microsoft. NVIDIA up 7%, a monster rip. They will be beneficiaries of Amazon's huge spend. Tesla up 4%, breaking a trend. Micron up 2%, stock of the year so far, up 35%, absolutely crushing it. What's up? Thanks for tuning in, Jeff. Bitcoin, a monster rip here, up 11%. AMD up 8%. You got Google down 2%. What else here? Small caps. This is we're going to look at small caps here, up 3%. Palantir, after getting absolutely dogged, up 5%. Broadcom up 8%. They will be beneficiaries of Amazon spend. IBIT up 10%. We'll take a look and Taiwan Semi also beneficiaries, up 6%. All right, let's get into the intraday tape. I know a lot of people saw a lot of fear once Amazon reported earnings, and it sank the Qs for a bit, and then they started getting more into the call. And there were beneficiaries in the Qs as the bifurcation exists, was starting to go higher. And then at Japan, the Nikkei actually opened higher, not lower. If you could see here, so here's 9:30 opening bell, call it 681. They took us right up there. They were a line of buyers at the open. We haven't seen below 684 since 10 a.m. And now we're getting into a critical resistance point. This is the intraday tape. But again, we are overbought on a short-term basis. Volume starting to dry up a little bit, and a major congestion zone. This is a 200 bar moving average, each one constituting 30 minutes. As I zoom out, so I've been saying, hold on, my screen crackalacked here. So look at this bar, exactly what I said before, as I like the risk reward buying SPY. When you get close to that 670 mark, I said all along we'd be tethered. Well, there you go, to that 689 mark. That's what I've been saying. It's like tennis match, back and forth, and that is basically the field. We still think that level here has been a buy, and nothing's changed. 675 going back to basically Thanksgiving week. Very fast digestion from the all-time highs of January 28th, just 9 days ago, all the way ceiling to the floor here, and now you have a bounce all the way to the 21-day exponential moving average. What I think is going to happen here, still looking at cycles, is pretty much this bearish distribution phase. I think will stay with us through the 18th, which is a couple days after that long weekend when President's Day shuts the markets. So I think this bearishness will be with us. The floor, like I said, the setup to me is clean at 670 to 675. I think they're going to defend that. We will be straddled pretty close to 690. And the higher side in terms of, where we could potentially be in early, my target is early March, is somewhere right around that 704 mark. I still think it wants to take out 703, but has to digest all these crosswinds if Claude is going to eat up the software industry, which has a lot of people, concerned. You're going to see a lot of commercials too on the Super Bowl on Sunday, and they got your ear paying, like $6 million for 30 seconds. I think more than that. So that is pretty much the level. Going to stay straddle to 690. There's a bit of a ceiling here at 695. So even with the Q software correlation, even if we get super excited, I think they'll take them to about 696 and then they'll sell it. So again, straddle to around 690, upside earlier March, right around that 703 mark we talked about. All right, take a breath. IJH, your biggest mover today. The mid-caps, they are gobbling up here. You can't just bid these companies to the sky in terms of tech with their huge valuations. And of course, everyone's using AI and in some cases unprofitably. And folks are now saying, wait a second, what is my ROI going to be on this? OpenAI is potentially losing money, needs to raise more. Anthropic is a whole different situation. And we got a big update from Google, and then Amazon, Microsoft downgraded their Azure guidance. So there's a lot of different things in terms of their Copilot usage being down. So this is the IJH, the mid-cap index. They're gobbling it up. 3% is a massive move. That's a 3 standard deviation move. You are getting a bearish divergence here in that we didn't scratch even 69 RSI, but outside of Bollinger Band to the upper bound, the candle is the absolute. There's no wick on this yet. It's a high of day right here, all-time highs right here as we breathe here today. So massive move. This looks great right here. I like the small caps. I like the mid caps. This is going to about $72. So we did a lot today, but I do think it has about another 40 cents to go, about another 0.5%. The candle looks great. I would love it more if we were overbought here, but this probably has another bullish 2 weeks. If it has a pullback to about 69.5, take it. This is a beautiful place to park your cash, and it has been since this breakout back here. End of June, early July. Absolutely great place to be in mid caps. Up 3%, not much else to say. You could buy, these are kind of a liquid in terms of options, but you could do the May, 72, check the liquidity, 72, 73 calls. Or you could just buy the outright stock. ATR is 80 cents. You could buy it right here. If it moves against you, $1.60. So literally clean break to 70 even, get out. That's it. That's literally it. All right, next. Japan, I'm enjoying this one. Thank you, Japanese. Konnichiwa again, and konnichiwa one more time. Up 4% is Japan. Absolute ridiculous move. Look at the chart. This almost looks like gold after April here. They have flocked to Japan. This is Toyota. This is some other firms as well. Let me see what's the top in the EWJ now. It's Toyota. It's Mitsubishi, UFJ Financial, and what's this other one? Hitachi. So you get some, and then Sony's in there as well. So it's diversified. This isn't super concentrated. So Japan, everything they got going on, dollar going lower, looks absolutely amazing. This has had an amazing run already. Look at this upper Bollinger Band move, pretty insane. On the door of 70 RSI, it is a high of day right here. I know that because my P&L is very green. I don't want to chase it right here. I think it's got like another probably through mid next week for some more bullishness. But for me, the ceiling is 88, hence why I am taking profits on the table today. I don't want to get addicted to the sugar high. And Japan, the way it is not really, look at the chart here, no more than one Bollinger Band outside to the upper bound. One and it tops out, okay? So this is like your star player, but he's going to have a 60-point game. I'm not asking him to have 60 points again the next day. So trees don't grow to the word we're looking for is sky. Next one, IWM, the small caps crushing up 3%. This looks similar to the mid caps. Again, small caps a great place to be. They obviously do not have a ton of software exposure. So where you're going to put cash, you could do an undervalued small caps. One sec. All right. This looks great. I was actually just texting a buddy about this. Small caps look absolutely great. Don't forget the all-time highs for small caps were now just about 2 weeks ago at 271.5, call it. One sec. My computer is spazzing. It's being a small crap, not a small cap. There we go. See what I did? And it's Friday. I'm tired. I want a cup of coffee. We are headed to, this is going to have a bullish 2 to 3 weeks. This is going to 270, right back near those highs. I think I have my target of 273 here. That's a big dollar move. I love it here. It looks absolutely wonderful. Not much more you could say. You could probably also check the costs on these, but the May 270 calls look dynamite. I think you'll be fine in those. I have similar exposure. Otherwise, I may be making a move towards small caps today or RSP, but they are gobbling this up today. It looks great. It was absolutely on sale here. It slipped all the way down to a 50-day moving average. Am I seeing that correctly? That's crazy talk that it got that week. And look, it got just to a 43 RSI, and they've defended that region or that level for our for small caps since Thanksgiving, also since that relative bottom, really when the 200-day moving average started to get an incline. Small caps look absolutely great, and it's a haven from software, and largely even for the whole, the old tariff fiasco, because this is like financials and energy make up a lot of this. So great spot to be. Love it. Let's look at the dog of the day, a big dog today, the only multiple standard deviation mover, Volatility. They're taking this huge exhale, and you did not think they would after the Amazon earnings. This is why markets to me are amazing, and they're a lifelong puzzle. If I gave you the newspaper from today and said Amazon is going to drop 10% after hours, after the software week that we've had, what's the market going to do the next day? Volatility took a sigh of relief, down 6% that day. So I call shenanigans on you and a bit of a mulligan, and that's why we trade the market in front of us, not the one that we want. That being said, Volatility right here has been bid for the past couple of days. Today, a puke down 6%. It also got to its sliding lower 50-day moving average, upper Bollinger Band. This thing has been a dog. It has, scares here, almost like a pessimist point of view. Everything's going so right, and you're waiting for the rug pull kind of a thing. That's just human nature. Volatility, though, I do believe the software reset to be frank, I think we'll have a lid on the highs. That's why I'm seeing the all-time highs for SPY coming more so in early March. For me, I think VXX is going to enjoy 2 weeks here, and I think it's headed to 30. So I think it's going to head right back to essentially where we were yesterday, maybe even closer to more so like the January 20th high. So I do think brace yourself. I'm curious how much they let this go below the 50 RSI on VXX today going into the close and next week. And don't forget, you're going to have lesser liquidity going into the holiday after the whole Valentine's Day and President's Day is closed. So just factors that usually add in when they just sell vol and it goes lower. So I'm curious how low they drop it, the dealers, and if there's any gamma pin risk for this going into next options expiration, which is the 20th. But the charts tell me this looks bid, and this looks like it wants to go higher to about $30, which is $250 from here. It'd be a pretty big move, and that would probably put the fear literally back in the market. So puts would be appreciated. All right, let us recap the week. This is important. We're going to recap the week, and we're going to recap the year, what is actually still making money. Number one this week, if you're in the airlines, we've been talking about this. We talk about stuff that matters on this program. The airlines we've said is going well. The Oman, Iran peace with Trump has a valve underneath the oil, so that has dropped the price of oil way enough for the beneficiaries in this space. I've seen some explosions higher in Delta, America, and some of these really performed well. I'm checking my note here. I said buy this thing. I said you're going to be fine in call spreads on Jan 30th. Where is that here? Right here, VWAP that day was $28. I said this is headed to 30. We're at 31 now. So that is called exceeded target for all you home gamers. I'd like to see it overbought, break out from a previous high here. Again, I'm seeing a lot of bearish divergences, but strong candles. I want to see how the rest of the next 3 hours goes. Do people take profits? They want to avoid, weekend risk and kind of gap downs on Monday for whatever reason. If OpenAI discovers a way to vibe code burritos or something. But I think this is headed to my target for this was 30 to 30.5, to be frank. So I would take, it's really a high of day. This is a 52-week high right here. Let me see that, 3107. Wow. Immense, 5%. Best trade on the board this week. I think people chase it into middle of next week. I personally would not chase it here. If you want to do that on the breakout system, you can. The ATR is 60, so you could do it right here, 31 even. If it drops $1.20, 2 times 60, get out. Okay, it's not working for you. It's probably going to head to 28.90. All right, number two. They love the home builders this week. The homies hanging very well. Oh, by the way, the numbers on that. Jets up 11% this week, or an average of a little bit more than 2% a day. It's up 5 right now today. Hence, what tells me it's getting, it's like that the runner in the meme that you see on on X and whatnot. It's like, oh, the sellers aren't quitting or the buyers aren't exhausted. It's still doing more than its week average. So it's not done yet. They probably do take it to like 31.5, and then I would pump brakes. The homies doing very well right here, up 9%, or just a hair inside of 2% a day. Essentially, what it's doing right here. This looks good. That's what I'm saying. It's not just buy service now and this stuff because they're at 3-year lows. Don't do that. That's nonsense. There are opportunities here. So this, to me, they rejected. It's pretty interesting candle on the day. They sent it to 118.15. It is below VWAP right now. It's basically at VWAP. Volume weighted average price, of course. I would love to see a breakout here from the 52-week high, struck Labor Day week at 120.5. I'm not so sure it does. I think it has a very nice bullish 2 weeks, this group. I think my target is 119 to 119.5. So you got another $3 or so. That's 2.5%. You could chase it right here. If you like, the ATR on this is 244. You know what I'm going to say. You could chase it right here. If it moves against you, 488, get out. So if it goes to 112, get out. But home builders, I think they have a good 2 weeks. Otherwise, you can also buy the May 120 calls, and maybe sell the Febs against it to help subsidize and finance that trade. All right, next, the regional banks, third best trade this week. So they bought airlines, they bought home builders, and they bought regional banks. This was the trade du jour of the week. Regional banks up 7.5% today, outdoing that weekly average today. 52-week highs on that. Don't forget, the regional banks hit all-time highs at Jan 22, the way this ETF is constructed, which was basically at $79, I believe, in the almighty catch-up trade, and this will get there. I'm seeing KBWB do it. It's very likely that KRE does it. But different, of course, constituency in terms of international and sizes and caps, etc. I personally would not chase this here. I think it has another, with everything that's going on, it's truly overbought. 52-week highs. They probably send it to, I wouldn't want to chase it far of 73. They probably maybe tag 70, tops like 74.5, I would think, maybe a 75. Same thing, ATR is 120. You could do it right here, and if it drops 240 on you, get out. But I wouldn't personally chase this. Much greater entry is $69 if you possibly get that in future, days, weeks. But for me here, it's at target. Great looking candle. Probably has a good couple of days next week, and then starts to consolidate some of these amazing gains. 52-week highs right there for regional banks. All right, let's get to what really drove the stories this week. It was the bloodbath in Ethereum. Your number one loser. I'm very happy to be short in it. It's had a massive move today. I'm checking the price. It's up 9.5% today. The truly fat person on the trampoline on this. Okay, so it got totally extended the other way. That is what you're seeing here in this deep shaded Mountain Dew code red color here with rising volume, almost a capitulation, throw in the towel. I'm looking at ETHA, the liquid Ethereum ETF. It hit 1377. Let me just pull up my notes here of when I shorted it and when I told y'all you can short it because it looked like crapola. And again, I'm just doing this through the GOAT system. Richard Dennis. Read Turtle Traders by Michael Koval. That's what got me into this, and I'm very glad I'm executing it. Very glad. So I said Jan 16th, I said get rid of this thing right here. After it failed under the 200 moving average, it looked like a big oopsie. So right there. Jan 21st. VWAP was 22.55. That lines up with my brokerage account for the short price. And then I said the target, I said this is going to have a 21 handle on it soon. My golly. It hit, like I said, a 13 handle. So that is called exceeding target. This could be the beginning. Again, this thing was down 23% over the past 5 days, average of 5% a day. Here is a rip-roaring 2x the other way. So understand you absolutely shifted lanes, and there's a change of direction today. It is still under 30 RSI, though. That is ugly, meaning when push comes to shove, this I don't think is going to have what it takes. These are horrible levels. Bitcoin, I know it's bounced to like 70, 71K. We'll look at IBIT in a second. That's still pretty pathetic. But Ethereum, based on just how horribly it's fallen, I'm still short. I'm watching it, like I said. This looks like it's going to enjoy a dead cat bounce to at least, I would think, about 18 half-ish. So that's about another $3. That would take me out. I'm going to watch, of course, how it trades today. I'm going to close half of this and close half of Japan trade on the board. But I do think this rallies to at least $18. If it doesn't, that's a pretty pathetic sign, and this is going to take longer and expecting probably deeper and worse off for Ethereum and crypto. I'll take a look at IBIT, like we said, in a second to check the correlations. They've been trading hand in hand, but a very good looking candle today. It is still 28 RSI, so this is just mean reversion off of absolutely horrible levels. Don't forget, they've been selling the crap out of this. Hasn't had a green day since Jan 27th. So I mean, you can't, just the same way trees don't go to the sky, you can't absolutely go through the worms in the floor. Also beautiful and poetic. So this should go to, like I said, I'm seeing about $18, and I told you what I'm gonna do with my position. Worst trade all week, Ethereum. If you're long, tears. All right, number 2, natural gas. I told you the weather was going to warm up earlier this week. Didn't have to wear the gloves, so much this week, but still absolutely freaking cold. It's 29 right now, and it's going to be 7 below tomorrow. Nat gas flat today. Look at this. This is why we always want, guilty until proven innocent, honestly. Nat gas, it does this kind of crap where it's on top of that was different. There's a rising 200 moving average. Same thing here. Boom, one day here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need more than a week of that. Okay. And then this candle was absolutely, you look at horizontal lines, pretty important as a technician right here against the wall of resistance at 17. Folks said, no, thank you. And that was with a overbought registration. Trinity starting to stabilize here. And then, of course, real world gets to reality and different demand when it is 30 degrees versus when it's 0 degrees on the East Coast and other factors. And today, a tag of the 200 moving average, and it got Dikembe'd right back down. So pretty amazing for natural gas. I'm looking at the ETF UNG. This is still going to be in sell mode. Don't like it. I think this will be bearish for About another week, maybe a week and a half, and I think this could tag the all-time low is 995. I don't like it could go as low as 10. That's not my base case because XLE is getting love, and obviously this is a commodity and energy and where it sits. So I think we'll get some sympathy bids, but I don't like natural gas. It makes widow makers of us all. I think it's a crap contract, and it's had 3 days in a row green. That's too much for it. It does not deserve, unfortunately. Sorry for you holders. I think it goes to 11.5, like kind of easily, but we'll see. It's got another week and a half. I don't like that in terms of the cycles for this because it pukes usually for longer. Nat gas, your second worst trade of the whole week, down 19%. I was expecting to, walk in and see it down 4% today, maybe Monday. We'll see. Probably not, though, because it's going to be 7 below, and they're probably going to bid it up on Monday. So I'm probably wrong short term, and then by the end of next Friday into President's Day, I think this thing's back in the crapper. Let's get to you, Bitcoin. I bet your third worst trade on the board, down 16%, or an average of 3% a day. Last I checked, that is a 52-week low for IBIT. This has finally gotten to 30 RSI, so a little bit stronger than Ethereum, which has a 28. This has at least truly IBIT is at least stabilizing here at 39 and change. So similar, I'm not going to kick a dead horse on this, but similar to what I said, go for Ethereum goes for this. I would expect a bounce on this to about at least 44, and that would be pretty still in the realm of pathetic. That would mean a 10%ish move. So Bitcoin from here would have to go to like 77. If it craps out there, that's pretty sad. And then the higher point of where I'm hoping at least it gets to is about $48. And for a couple of reasons, selfishly, I do have a sell order in to sell half my long-term Bitcoin holdings and convert in gold. I do not own gold. It is more so an insurance because I have mega cap tech and large cap stuff, and at least I like the smoother curves that gold provides. And honestly, it's been averaging 30% a year, I believe, for the last 10 years for shiny metal, which is not correlated to the portfolio, which is pretty great. So I like that. And digital gold is gone. It's that narrative has not worked. Now it's more tech. So I don't need tech and more tech. So so 48 would translate to about 84-ish K in 81K in Bitcoin. And I think they do pull the rug again on it. I'm just looking at charts. Charts is what I know. And that's what it looks like. Okay, let's zoom out. And this is really so best trades of the week. Short Ethereum, short Nat Gas, short IBIT. If you were in those this week, I was in one of them. Congratulations. You're absolutely crushing it. Okie dokie, artichoke. Best trades of the year. I live around this. This is super important to me. I try and anchor and, concentrate or try to maybe influence the turtle in some way, looking at these trends, these durable, longer term, unshakable almost trends. Your number one trade of the year. Your junior silver miner. So risk is absolutely still there. This is up 181% year over year, 180%. So, and just in case you guys, so it bottomed here with the SPY 52-week low back on April 7th at $10 and it hit $41. That's what we call a four bagger. And then it came all the way down. You got such a discount. It came all the way to the 50-day. And then now it's up 6% alone today. I had been saying this last week. I said the metals are going to set up right around Super Bowl weekend, that Friday, that Monday. By the way, Seahawks over the Patriots, 27-23, maybe 27-20. MVP probably Sam Darnold. We'll see, but that receiver's crazy. JXN. This still needs a little bit of time. The dollar is still, I think, going to have an advantageous week or so. So I don't want to rush into the metals. This needs probably closer to Super Bowl Monday, maybe Tuesday for this. I like what I'm seeing out of it. Obviously today it is on clinching on the door of 50 RSI. Stochastic momentum is still going lower, but I think it will hold here. Amazing flows into this all year. This trend is not broken. Don't be silly. I do not think it's broken at all. I love setups in this, honestly, under 33. So I would be quick to trigger, possibly today if you really, really, really feel the need, but probably more so Monday. I like this because my target is still to the upside, $40. So this is a good one. You could chase this right here, right now, 47 ATR. If it moves against you, 94 cents, and I would truly do that. If I enter this after this video, I will buy it right here, whatever, 32.44, maybe closer, VWAP on the day, etc., and use some, optimal execution against VWAP and anchored VWAP. But I would pay it, and then 94 cents is your stop loss. So it's basically a 3-ish%. That's vol adjusted for this. So basically half today's gains. I do that math right? Boopity, 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 bob, 94, 3%. Yeah, half today's gains. Nice. So that's your number one leader, up 181%. My target is $40, which is $8 from here. That is a beautiful move. I believe in it. Number two trade of the year is closely correlated. This is the gold miners. So these are both delta plays on the underlying junior silver miners. Is crazy risk, hence why we get paid to execute and actually hold risk. Gold miners is a little bit less risk because they're taking a delta play on gold, just a little bit different on how spec the underlying metal is. This is up 150% year over year, absolutely crushing it. If you notice the SILJ chart from before, it was actually underneath the 200-day moving average, and that trade came alive closer to like spring. Similar with the SLV, the silver underlying commodity itself. Gold and gold miners, same thing in that it has not been underneath a rising 200-day moving average all year. They're not letting go of their gold and gold miner stocks. They're not doing it. So it's not. They're not thinking about selling. So that has not changed at all. This to me looks like an oversold buy. I love setups under $98. It is $97.15 right here. This thing is going to 112. The story has not changed. Central banks have not stopped gobbling it up. The dollar is going to have a short-term bounce. So it might go shorter, lower in the shorter term. Love under 98. It's headed to 112. I believe call spreads jump out at me. You could do the May. Yeah, you can do the May 112s. You can do something cheaper as well. There's a bunch of different things you can do. You could buy the stock right here. I do the math for the ATR. Once it moves against you, $2.70, get out. That's it. But this looks great. I will put a metals trade on. I'm not sure about today because the turtles buy into strength. We're not trying to pick up pennies in front of stream rollers. I'd rather buy the 1 month high. So for that, this would be basically all-time high. So we'll see. But if you bought it right here, use those those ATR rules. And then lastly, EWI. I am in Japan, but EWI, your third best trade year over year. This is crazy that it trades like a meme stock or like a junior silver miner. This is South Korea, the country. This is because Samsung is going crazy because AI memory is where the money is, and they are headquartered there essentially. Absolutely ridiculous chart. Absolutely ridiculous. All-time highs. I was in this trade up until last week or a couple of days on Monday, I believe. All-time high, call it 127, and then it came down there to 118. Very volatile, and then right back here at 124, up 3% today. Okay, up 3% today. Absolutely amazing. Third best trade on the year. This was like an oversold buy to me too. They're not letting go of this one. This looks almost like the silver chart in that it at least had an existence underneath its 200-day moving average. But the gold miner thing is impeccable. They're not go own some. Hence why I put in that Bitcoin order. I just love the returns that it has, and it's smooth. This looks like EWI. I just want to give it. It's an amazing day. I just want to give it like a little bit more, like maybe another day to see where the dust settles. I love setups under 116, 117. I'm hoping maybe there's an opportunity for that on Monday. But if you buy it right here, absolutely go for it. That's fine. But stick with your ATR. It's 97 cents. We can call it $1. So $2. You can get it right here, 123.80. If it goes down to 121.80, just get out. So that's likely going to about that 116. You'll get a better entry. Keep those losses small. I'm telling you, once you buy these breakouts, you get literally like 3-to-1 returns. It's astronomical. All right. So best trades of the year: junior silver miners, gold miner juniors, and South Korea. Those trends are durable, still playable, and they're setting up very, very soon. I will talk with y'all later. Got to go trade.